everyone, it's the Dapper Danielle and welcome back to my channel. Last week I talked about some Ghost of Disney Christmases Past, so some offerings that are no longer available at Disney World property. Well, this week we're going to focus on Ghost of Christmas Present and Future, things that are currently happening here at Disney World and things that maybe we wish would happen in the future, or things that are currently rumors that could potentially come in the next coming years. So let's jump right into it. The year 2020 and 2021 have been an interesting time for the Disney park locations. As vaccination rates and everything change across America, the amount of entertainment that's been allowed to come back has increased. There are some things I'm very happy that came back this year, and there's other things I wish had come back, but at the same time, I understand that there are some other things happening in the background, so I'll give Disney a pass for this year on things that I didn't enjoy. However, I have higher expectations for next year. So let's start over at Magic Kingdom, where the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party didn't really come back this year. Instead, it was called a after hours event, which was nice. I'll take what I can get. It did bring back fireworks, a stage show, some sweet treat offerings throughout the park, as well as sodas and popcorn. This after hours event started in November and is going through December. It was cute, but is it up to the quality and standard that we've come accustomed to with a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? Let me know in the comments if you were able to attend this year, or if maybe you didn't attend for other reasons. Let me know. Magic Kingdom also brought back Jingle Cruise this year, which has been a crowd favorite still. However, some guests have made it be known that they would like other Christmas offerings as well, besides just Jingle Cruise and the decorations on Main Street. They were hoping for something else. Also, for this year, I don't believe that they brought back the Teacup holiday overlay this year. In 2019 that Disney decided to put like holiday music and holiday lights over the Teacup ride. I don't believe that returned for this party. And that was something very simple and subtle that I thought was just fun. Posted Danielle here, and I realized that the Teacups were not the only thing to not return. In 2019, Walt Disney World announced that the Teacups, Space Mountain, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and Tomorrowland Speedway would all receive an overlay. They all appeared for the holiday season in 2019, but did not return yet this year in 2021. From what I can remember, all of these offerings got great responses from guests. Is there one that you really hope to see next year, possibly? All right, Danielle, back to you. I will say these past couple years, not including 2020, the Magic Kingdom has not been what I would consider the holiday it spot for me personally. My favorite holiday locations have definitely become Hollywood Studios as well as Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom mostly because they have Merry Menagerie. Yes, it's only in one section of the park in the very front. However, this little tiny detail has gone over so well with guests. Merry Menagerie was introduced in the holiday season right before 2020, and it got great guest responses then, and it still gets great responses now. I am so happy that they brought this offering back here in 2021. When I went this year, I ran into a character attendant that recognized me from my other platforms, and she happily answered my questions on what's going on with the Merry Menagerie. And she had nothing but positive things to say. Guest reactions, seeing the kids' faces light up as that little tiny fox comes over and plays with them and bites on the bubbles, the penguins that chase around the families that are trying to get through the park. It is such a great experience. They also have musicians that perform with the animals, and it just creates this great lively environment into the park. One thing that the cast member pointed out to me was that this is the first in-person character meet and greet option. Guests are able to come right up to the characters, interact, and talk with these cast members, which I consider a huge step moving forward. I also learned that the actors portraying these animals actually have a little more freedom in their character, so the characters of the animals change with the actor that's portraying them. The characters also don't have specific names, however there are some crowd favorites, like the little reindeer recently has been called Olive. The other reindeer. I believe it was the character attendant that told me that her name for the two little penguins that she likes to call them is Chips and Dip. Penguins can be more feisty and the seal can be more shy, just depending on the actor that's portraying them. These actors have a lot more flexibility with playing around in their environment, which I think creates a very organic experience, and the guests are reacting to it very well. The Disney company also realized how great this experience was and actually brought in merchandise this year for it. So Merry Menagerie has a tumbler, a set of ornaments, a polar bear and penguin plushie that are also puppets. And according to some of the cast members, the penguin hand puppet is actually the #1 seller of a merchandise item in Animal Kingdom at the moment, which is understandable. I really hope that the Disney company ends up expanding this experience, maybe to other sections of the park as well. I think it would be really great that if these puppets also had siblings in other sections of the park. What if we had a dinosaur over in Dino Land that would come out and greet others and it could still be in the same puppet form? Or what about a lion and a baby lion, or a rhino hanging out over in Africa? Or an ape walking around in the gorilla area? Again, these are just my ideas. Disney, if you end up using any of these ideas, you don't have to give me credit. Just invite me to the media event for it next year. Okay, we'll work on it. Cool. Fun fact, one thing I learned from my character attendant friend is that on Mama Reindeer, or Papa Reindeer, depending on the actor that's portraying them, there is a hidden Mickey painted on them. It's right over to their right-hand side, or your left, depending on if you're looking at the reindeer. It's one of those little tiny details that I thought, oh my goodness, you would never know unless you talk to the character attendant or the actor. Bitch, have conversations with them, talk to them. They really enjoy that. The other conversation you need to have is if you have an experience at any of the Disney parks where you really enjoy a holiday offering, you have to let them know. Whether it be during your surveys at the end of the trip when Disney sends you an email saying, hey, tell us what you liked and didn't like. Fill those out. Tell them the experiences that you went and enjoyed, or go to guest relations and just tell them, hey, I don't want to complain or anything. I just want to tell you something positive, that my little one absolutely adored the Merry Menagerie and can't stop talking about those little penguins. Okay, Danielle, we know you love Merry Menagerie, but what else happened at Disney World? Gingerbread Houses here at Walt Disney World are also a very big thing. However, we only saw the return of 2 offerings, that being the carousel over at Beach Club and the giant house over at the Grand Floridian Resort. The carousel and the detail on those horses this year were themed after Little Mermaid, and the detail is spectacular. You can tell that the Beach Club culinary team did a really good job of putting in some effort. Now, the Grand Floridian house was really cute. However, you could tell where some corners were cut to be able to get the job done on time. I understand that these cast teams are also working on other projects and their crews are also cut in half, so I can get where there's going to be some drawbacks. I would love to see other gingerbread experiences come back. Now, the Contemporary Resort, theirs was cute the past couple years with the Cinderella Castle that happened in like 2018 and 2019. However, I do wish that they had the opportunity to do something more, like maybe a throwback to the 1970s where they had a giant tree in the atrium of the building. Maybe we should do an homage to that. I don't know what it would look like, but it'd be cool. Or what about a giant tree made out of gingerbread? I feel like structurally that'd be actually very easy to make. It's just a cone shape, right? Now over in Epcot, it has been great to see Festival of the Holidays and a lot of the character storytellers returning, like Père Noël, La Befana, Father Christmas. It was great to just walk around with my family and just listen to these storytellers. My family's only complaint was that this year in the America Pavilion, it was only Santa Claus. Mrs. Claus is usually present in the America Pavilion. However, she was absent this year. I understand. The North Pole has been crazily affected, especially with the labor shortage. Understandable that she wasn't here. However, we did greatly miss her. My family and I were talking though, and we were kind of wishing that something else would come back to Epcot. Maybe not the lights of winter like I mentioned in my last video, however, just something. One thing I was salty that Walt Disney World didn't receive but Disneyland received this year was the Muppet Caroling Cavalcade, which took place at their after hours event in Disneyland. I'm a little salty. I want more Muppets. I was even thinking back to the days of the double-decker bus that used to go around Epcot, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to bring the Muppets back since there is Regal Eagle inside the America Pavilion at Epcot? It would tie in with the theme. The bus wouldn't have to go far, maybe just entering in over at the America Pavilion and exiting over at the UK. Muppets, Disney, come on, let's work on this. There's also a holiday overlay happening over at Living with the Land, which my family got to experience for the first time this year. I can't believe it's taken me this long to be able to go see it. The mission of Living with the Land is to take you through different parts of agriculture and environments and really talk about our environment and what we're doing today in technology. In the holiday overlay of Living with the Land, they also add a vocal overlay talking about, oh, this is where ginger for your gingerbread is from. I also really enjoyed that with this audio overlay, it added in a little more facts to your holiday experience. It made it jolly and informational. I liked it. Back to the theming of Epcot, over in the Imagination Pavilion, Figment has also received a very festive holiday sweater. It is just a costume overlay, however, this little tiny detail just really makes it great. I was thinking this is also something that could be very easily added into the end of the Frozen ride. In Frozen Ever After, in the very end scene, the girls are showcased wearing their summer outfits, which I get it, the whole thing takes place in summer, but why couldn't you adapt that small bit of audio in the end scene to them wearing their Christmas outfits that they wear in the holiday special. I feel like these are very simple minor changes that could really just add something else during the months of November and December, maybe even in January as well. Over at Hollywood Studios, we saw the return of the projection mapping onto the Tower of Terror. During the show, it projects different holiday scenes, one of my favorites being the Muppet scene with Swedish Chef making a gingerbread house, and then the Tower of Terror turns into a giant gingerbread house. Also now during the 50th anniversary here at Walt Disney World, they are still projecting sequences of the 50th Beacons of Magic. It's just in between sets of the holiday sequences. There's also a Santa cavalcade that comes through the middle of Hollywood Studios during the day, and I thought this was a fantastic addition, adding a little bit of holiday spirit. Gertie the dinosaur was also getting into the festive holiday mood. She's holding a ornament that says Walt Disney World 50 on it, so it's those little tiny details that of course I appreciate. And just overall, the decor in Hollywood Studios, 10 out of 10 would recommend just getting a Starbucks and just sitting down on a park bench, listening to the music and taking in the atmosphere. Holidays made. This year over in Star Wars Land and Disney World and in Disneyland, they've added in a couple of merchandise items for Life Day. With the opening of the Galactic Cruiser coming up, I would love to see some more Life Day merchandise or some more Life Day offerings for when the Galactic Cruiser opens up here at Walt Disney World. Now, there are some holiday offerings that did not return this year, one of them being Jingle Bell Jingle Bam, which happened over at Hollywood Studios, themed after Prep and Landing, and it was a fireworks show. I do love Prep and Landing. It's one of my favorite Disney shorts. However, I didn't really love the Christmas projections that happened for this show. I thought that they were kind of just spliced sequences and they were just kind of put together with not the greatest vocal overlay. The fireworks were great, I just didn't love the projections for that show. This offering could possibly return, however, I would love to see something come back, but maybe just not the exact same thing, maybe just a little more updated or altered. Well, my list wasn't actually as long as I thought it was. So those were some of my favorite things and some things that I really wish to see here in the next coming years here at Disney World during the holidays. Now, let me know. Is there something that you really enjoyed this year? Is there something like a Blue Skies project where if there was nothing held back, no 2020 setbacks, no budget cuts, and anything was on the table, what's a holiday offering that you would really love to see here at Disney World? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and definitely check out my other platforms in the description below. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!